This is your Neepawa Town Council Debrief for the June the 21st, 2022 meeting. The debrief will take you through the key issues being discussed by Council and provide a bit more information on what they mean for the town. Council starts out and ends this month on a celebratory note, marking the return of the town's annual Canada Day festivities, the first since 2019, and noting some national observances this month. June is Filipino Heritage Month, as well as Indigenous History Month in Canada. The day of the meeting, June 21st, is observed as National Indigenous Peoples Day, with events across the country. Council recognizes these and notes the huge local celebration of Filipino Heritage Month this past weekend, as well as congratulating the graduating class of 2022.
I have one item. It's been 2019 since the last Canada Day celebrations that we've had due to COVID and so many other things that have happened. So I'm very pleased to mention that on Canada Day, July the 1st, Riverbend Park is going to be buzzing with lots and lots of activities. Free public swimming from 1 o'clock till 8 p.m. Arts Forward has a scavenger hunt from 1 till 1:30. The opening ceremonies down in Riverbend Park begin at 3 p.m. There's going to be children's bouncy inflatables. We have the Canadian Air Division jets flyover. There's going to be horse-drawn wagon rides, children's bubble lab, face painting, reptile gardens, giant games, other activities, music by Frozen Fire Studios. The canteen's going to be open from 3 till 9 p.m. with hot dogs, hamburgers, ice cream treats. There's a Canada Day cake at 4:30 p.m. A live bubble show with Ryan Price at 5 p.m. Live music by Lunch Money from 7 till 9 p.m. A family bonfire and marshmallows from 7 till 10, and fireworks again this year at dusk. We're still looking for many volunteers, so if anyone's available, either check out the Town of Neepawa Facebook page or contact the town office.
I'll maybe interlude about the cake. So those posters were printed before all the sponsorships came in. It'll actually be donuts in looking very Canada Day-ish and some cupcakes. So, so if you go for cake, don't be surprised it won't be there.
Okay, yes, that's going to be a very exciting day. Thank you, Councilor Purple. Anyone else? Jason?
I just wanted to acknowledge on behalf of Council that this is our Filipino Heritage Month here in June. Also today, June 21st, marks National Indigenous Peoples Day. So we just want to recognize those things here.
Yes, thank you, Councilor Robles. Very good.
We attended, I didn't get there till about 6:30 on Saturday at the Outlet because we were hauling sandbags. But what a phenomenal organization or organizational skills that were used to put on that celebration at the Yellowhead by the Filipino community. My hat goes off to them. It was awesome. The vibration in the building when I walked in, it happened to be during the tug of war, and you just could not hear a thing. It was great. The other thing is, by the time we have our next council meeting, grad will have come and gone. And I just want to say to all those grade 5 students out there that used to be in grade 5 7 years ago, way to go, you made it. I didn't have any doubts, maybe. Anyway, it's kind of cool to see you as adults now. Brings a tear to my eye. Yeah.
Manager of Operations Denise Sakay has a brief but important update for Council this month. Water continues to be a huge problem in the area, both for town operations and for private residents, with record water flows running through the wastewater station. While the town is dealing with road washouts, Sakay recommends that people check their basements for water even if they have never had water before, and to avoid draining their sump pumps into the town sewer system. The water table is extremely high, and there is yet more moisture on the way. Despite these challenges, the town has seen no wide-scale system failures during this time. Ironically, between our dumps of rain, dust suppression has been an issue in town in those roads that are due to be repaved this summer, which Sakay also addresses.
On to our Manager of Operations.
Thank you. Not too much activity report up other than poor weather. It's been the grief of staff lately. We've been tending to numerous washouts, trying to band-aid stuff up as best we can. We're loading a certain amount of street damage around the community just from the heavy deluges that keep coming up and flipping asphalt up. So residents do notice some areas that we've missed, just to kind of call in or report them or email it in, whichever. We'll try to get staff to tend to them. There's a very long list. We're seeing weekend slopes around the community, so again, residents to be vigilant for their own households, check your basements. What you're experiencing groundwater coming into your basement, not a water break. So check them daily, probably a good idea. Many people on your street are probably having water issues as well, you're not alone. And yeah, I think we're not alone in the water issues, we're having our own facilities as well. We've recorded some of our record flows through our wastewater plant again. I think we just came under 80 liters a second, so with a design capacity of 99, so we're nearing a catastrophic design standard. So yeah, when some pumps can be run to the street opposed to into our sanitary system, that makes a huge difference. So please avoid any sump pump flow into our sewer system.
Yeah, no, that is unbelievable that you're bad. Councillor Pudlow was saying that 2020 we were battling flood. Last year was drought, and now we're swimming again. That's
Well,
unbelievable.
as for Canada Day, same thing. We'll be pumping the park as best we can, so we'll try to make it as presentable as we can. Knowing it's still underwater right now in several locations, but we'll be tending to those. So, yeah.
Okay.
I just want to commend the town staff. They've done phenomenal work through this, and it's different issues. It's not like your normal heavy rain comes through and it's an issue. It's because of such a high water table. They are battling water where we haven't seen water before, and there has not been any wide-scale failures in town as a result. So I just want to commend the staff. They've been doing excellent work through this.
Yes, it's for darn sure. Councillor Nuttall?
Yeah, I've just got a couple questions from some residents, and it's hard to believe with all this rain, but there are times when we've had that warm weather where we've had some dust, and residents continue to ask about Davidson. Maybe, is there an update you could tell people about, are we looking to put dust suppressant on?
We're trying to schedule it in between rainfalls. We've had to call and cancel a few times now, so we'll see if we can squeeze it in again, and then between trying to repair the road again, it makes it a little difficult. So.
Great. You know, something else I'm excited about that was on, I don't know if everyone else noticed, I'm sure you have, the wayward signs are all posted around town now, so really excited to see those. And did we install them, or were they done?
They contract now.
Okay. Oh, they look really good.
Sure.
There was a petition to council this month to reopen a pet cemetery that had been located on land later assumed by the town north of Highway 16 next to the Kingdom Hall. It has not been used in some time, but the location is still known and unused for other purposes. The original pet cemetery was an understanding between the landowner and local residents, and no official documentation of its use was recorded. So council discusses this issue.
Just one piece of correspondence. I have a letter here from Rita Friesen, and I'll just quickly read it. Mayor McCutcheon Town Council, I am aware that there was once a pet cemetery in the northwest portion of our town off Highway 16 next to the Kingdom Hall. I'm also aware that when Mr. Gill granted the land to our town, there was no provision included for the cemetery to continue. With respect, I request that dialogue be open to facilitate this area to be reopened. There are many in our community who have their beloved pets or in urns or in storage, unsure of how to best honor a faithful companion, and often a therapy pet before we knew what that even meant. I did a quick social media quiz, and there is a need for a pet cemetery. I'm willing to meet with council, bringing a delegation, and will be submitting a letter to the editor seeking support as well. Please consider allowing us, the citizens of this town, to have our pets join the many already placed there. Thank you for your consideration of this request, and I anticipate a reply, willing to do what it takes.
Okay, any discussion?
it an understanding that when that did happen, when Homer Hill, when we actually assumed that property, it was not under the assumption that it was a pet cemetery at that time? Is that correct?
The research we were able to find, there is actually nothing in the records here, so we reached out to community members that understood what might go on. So many years ago, Homer owned the property and allowed people to bury their pets there as the owner. When the area over there got developed, that piece of property came over to the town as part of a public reserve, and there was no assumption that it was to continue. So are there pets there? Absolutely. Have we, even in the 9 years I've been here, ever encouraged or condoned it, or the council thereof? No. We've never participated in any fashion to even say a pet cemetery existed, but we do recognize there are pets there.
Okay, well, I guess, thanks for your comments, Rita, certainly we'll be getting back to you.
In other cemetery news, Council also discusses the ordering of new columbaria for the cemetery. Demand for interment in columbaria has been steadily increasing and has increased at an even greater rate during the pandemic. And it is more time and cost effective to order and install more than one at a time. The lead time to build granite columbaria can be substantial. So an order this year would be installed next year. If anyone doesn't know what the columbaria are, those are the large granite structures in the cemetery that can hold cremated remains.
New business.
So I will just maybe start a conversation on this and let Denise speak to it a little further. The point of view I will speak to is the fact that when you order columbariums, they don't get made overnight. These are large granite pieces that you have to give a lead time basically to making sure that they can be put in place in a period of time. So maybe I'll let Denise, if you want to finish.
Yeah, so we're looking at what kind of numbers we have left remaining and trying to forecast sales, and we just kind of felt it was in our best interest to start considering the acquisition of 6 additional columbarium units. The reason I go with 6 is we have pads laid over for 6. These units are quite heavy, so we have to bring in a heavy crane, so it's quite an arduous task just to place them. Again, the order now would be a booking now for a payment of 2023. With the delivery in winter of 2023, that way we don't do any surface damage with all the heavy equipment that has to go to the cemetery. So winter operations, and yeah, we've received a good quote from our current supplier that supplied the 6 prior to this, so we're pleased with their quality. No issues that way.
I would maybe just add to that, the reason we're looking at a little more seriously getting the order in this year for 2023 is we noticed through COVID actually the change going from traditional burials. We noticed they were decreasing before. People not the ability to have services are actually pursuing cremations a little more effectively now and efficiency wise, and we're believing that we really need to get columbariums in place to capture the load that maybe, or the excessive amount of urns that are still sitting on shelves and whatnot at home. So the trend is changing.
Yeah, very good point. Okay, so we need a motion for that. Moved by Councilor Gerard, seconded Councilor Pudlow. Be it resolved that we approve the pre-ordering of 6 additional columbariums to be installed at the cemetery in 2023 from Nelson Granite Limited based on their quote of $140,049, and further be resolved that this expenditure be deferred to 2023 to be borne by the cemetery maintenance reserve. All in favor? Carried.
While the town has not yet recorded significant damage from this year's flooding, they are passing a resolution regarding requesting disaster financial assistance from the province. A full assessment will be made later regarding what repairs the town will have to make, which will certainly include actions to protect the culvert system out at Park Lake. But in the meantime, this resolution is required so that private citizens who have already recorded significant damage can begin to apply for assistance.
Disaster financial assistance call.
So this is a resolution that is required by a municipality that whether you deem you have had an immediate public impact by water, or whether there are private residents that have had impacted by water. With the ongoing precipitation and the high groundwater tables in downtown, we needed to pass a resolution because we do have some actual residents that are submitting claims for disaster financial assistance. They will not get their applications reviewed though until we have passed a resolution suggesting that we still have unassessed damage that we may claim for, as well as the unknowns out there for private citizens. So this is a resolution, once it's passed, will go into the Emergency Measures Organization tomorrow to allow them to review any claims that so might be received from private citizens. We will also, as time passes and the water levels decrease, take a look at our own infrastructure and determine whether there's things we need to remediate as well. Having said that though, as you all know, we've had to take some action to protect the culvert system over at Park Lake and different things that really piggyback on our first disaster claim in 2020. So whether we're able to incorporate that into the 2020 disaster dollars or whether we file something new, really what we had to address was those temporary structures we put in place anyway, which we have to maintain until we get Park Lake and the bridge back in place. So we will do our own assessments. We may have claims, but I will be speaking with the Emergency Measures Organization to decide what the best course of action is.
Okay, so we need a motion for that. Moved by Councillor Gerard, seconded Councillor Constantin. Whereas the town of Neepawa has realized response and repair costs for the 2022 spring flood, and whereas the provincial government has announced a disaster financial assistance program regarding this event, therefore be it resolved that the town of Neepawa requests the province of Manitoba to provide financial assistance for both its public and private sectors under the 2022 Spring Flood Disaster Financial Assistance Program. All in favor? Carried.
We see the second reading for a new bylaw regarding regulations for vehicles for hire. However, thanks to a motion by Councillor Kosenchuk, a third reading of the bylaw has been tabled in a split vote to the July the 19th meeting. This is to allow for a delegation to come and speak to council on the issue before they take that final vote.
Bylaws. So, we are looking at second and third readings. I guess we're starting second reading on bylaw 321822, vehicles for hire. Is there any additional information on that?
No, I think you're all
First
aware of the
one.
bylaw.
Okay, moved by Councillor Barrett, seconded by Councillor Pudlow. Be it resolved that bylaw 3218-22 be in a bylaw of the town of Neepawa to provide for licensing, controlling, regulating, and safety of local vehicles for hire in the town of Neepawa be now read for the second time. All in favor? Carried. Okay, so third reading for bylaw 3218-22. So moved by Councillor Gerard, seconded Councillor Parrott. Any discussions? Oh, Councillor Kosenchuk.
I would like to make a motion to move this tabled third reading to the July 19th council meeting. Our committee is actually meeting tomorrow evening. We're having our AGM. And I think I would like to make them aware of the final third reading of this bylaw. They had asked to come to delegation to council. They did not have adequate information at that time, and we were asking to delegate and speak with council prior to the third reading. And I just think out of respect, I would like to give them the opportunity to come and speak to council on this matter. So I'd like to move the table.
Okay. So Councillor Kostenchuk has moved a tabling, and so we need a seconder for tabling. Councillor Puddle. Okay, so, all in favor of tabling, am I doing this right, Colin? All in favor of tabling the motion? Opposed? 4. Okay, that is carried.
On Tuesday, June 28th, an important presentation will be taking place at the town office regarding the upcoming municipal election and the process for running for council, as well as the expectations of the position. Everyone is welcome at this event, not just people interested in running for council, and it promises to be very educational on the running of municipal government. NACTV will be recording the presentation for broadcast at a later date.
Yeah, I just want to make a mention, there was a post on the town Facebook page, and just a nice reminder, on June 28th here, there will be a meeting for people in the community who may have an interest in running for town council. This is a great opportunity if you want to come in and learn what's involved in getting your name on the ballot, and then if you do become a councillor, as to what's involved in being a councillor, your roles, your responsibilities, and kind of what you could expect. And it'd be great to see if we have lots of candidates come forward again. It's always great for the process and bringing diverse ideas around the room. And if you've ever just wondered, even if you're not planning on running council, but what the rules of a councillor are, this is a phenomenal session. They do a fantastic job of explaining what it is. And then you can understand too, when council's sitting and making decisions as to what they can do and can't do. It's a great opportunity. And even, like I said, even if you're not planning on running for council, if you've got teenagers or whatnot and they want to understand more about civic roles and responsibilities, it's a great opportunity, which is on Tuesday, June the 28th. And again, it's right here at the town office.
I'll just maybe add, this is not, in case people misunderstand, this is not limited to people running in Neepawa. This is just anybody in their rural jurisdictions that are neighboring us. Minnedosa, there's a few expressed interest. This is just anybody, within driving distance who would like to pop in and learn something. That's all.
June 28th at 7 p.m. It's well worth it.
Great.
Finally, Council reminds everyone of the Food Cycler program that is still looking for participants. NACTV will also be doing a program on how the Food Cycler functions once they are available. So if you're interested but holding out until you see one in action, you'll be able to do that in the near future.
Okay, Councillor.
I was just curious about our Food Cycler program. Have we had a lot of uptake? Do we know how many?
Just about 20 so far.
20 so far? Okay.
80 to go.
80 to go. Okay.
Lots of interest. I think just people wondering about the difference.
Right. So if people are interested, there's still some availability for sure.
Also covered were the regional library report, thanks to the men's shed for the new planters at the clinic, and the regular financial statements. As well, as we head into summer, Council will be reducing the number of meetings from 2 meetings a month to 1 meeting a month for the months of July and August. You can view end-to-end coverage of the Town Council meeting elsewhere in the NACTV schedule, including immediately following this. We welcome your feedback on this program, and if you have any questions or items that you'd like to see clarified or discussed further, please let us know. You can reach us at 204-476-2639 or by email at nactvnews@gmail.com. Thanks for joining me, and I hope to see you next time.